Kaido, or the Dread Serpent, is a boss that's been around since verse 1, glitching out of the water, zooming away, and ultimately making your life miserable. On top of that, it gives you access to one of the most important things in the game, and at this point, you don't even need to fight him. Instead, you can kill his cousin, the World Serpent, or you can give this NPC a canteen. So why do you need to fight Kaido, and what really makes him so bad? Well, let me explain. First off, Kaido is a large dragon-like being that only lives in the Void Sea. He can either be encountered naturally or when you use an outdoor manifestation. Kaido isn't really the most intriguing fight. He only has 3 attacks. His first attack is his claw swipes, which ragdoll the player. It can also auto grip. This is the attack he'll get hit with the most if you're either too close to his belly or you're right in front of him. But his next attack is probably the most annoying. Kaido's second move is Tail Swipe, which flips him over and hits the player with his tail. It's pretty easy to avoid, and he usually does it after his claw swipes. You can parry it just like the swipes, however the main issue with the attack is the fact that it's super janky and also sends Kaido across the sea. I really don't get how we have cold ass animations on certain weapons and mantras, but a boss that's been in the game since the start doesn't even have anything that's actually cool. The only fun thing Kaido has is his final move. Ending off Kaido's moveset recap is Kaido's Dread Breath, a powerful beam that deals enough damage to drop you in about 2 seconds. Now his breath is already deadly, but what makes it worse is the amount of damage it does to boats. On top of that, it could also get you stuck during the fight. It's by far Kaido's best move, but it's not reliable. Most of the time you'll be at Kaido's rear end, so the move will never actually hit you. The only real risk is colliding with the ice and getting flung. Before I move on though, I do want to mention that Kaido, just like every boss or mob, is actually able to move around while guard broken. It's annoying. I would like this to be fixed, and if any mob is actually guard broken, it should stop them in their tracks. They shouldn't still be able to move around after using a move. It's kind of stupid. Listen though, I'm done with all that, so let's take a look at the boss review breakdown. Kicking things off is his boss entrance. It's not flashy, but it gets the job done. The bubbles and him hopping up right from the sea, it works. His entrance is gonna get a 2 out of 10 from me. Up next is difficulty, something Kaido clearly lacks. You can choose to fight him legit and nothing will really change. Just parry or dodge and you're pretty much fine. But fighting Kaido will cause you to get ragdolled multiple times, and that could actually fuck you up. However, fighting Kaido with another person can also be chaotic, and Kaido only has 3 attacks, so I gotta give him a 3 out of 10. Moving on to the next criteria for this brainless dragon brings us to engagement, a tier where I ask if a boss makes you lock in. And to be real, Kaido doesn't have any factors that make you focus. He can't land his beam in optimal range, he can't one-shot you with his swipes, and he has 0 unavoidable attacks. So for Kaido's engagement, I gotta give him a 2 out of 10. Maybe if the boss was harder or if he had more moves, then I would decide to give him a higher rating. But right now, he's just not an engaging boss fight. After engagement is fun, which is somewhat similar but different at the same time. In certain games, there are bosses or things that aren't really engaging in the sense of you having a focus, but at the very least, they're fun. Here in Deepwoken, Kaido is probably the most boring non-humanoid boss. At least Etheron has a lot of shit to mix up the flow of combat and allow you to actually lock in. On top of that, other bosses in Deepwoken actually have stakes to them, which makes them more fun. Kaido, on the other hand, doesn't have that factor. Just stay behind him and you win. If he had some type of second phase or special gimmick that makes the fight stand out, then maybe he would actually be fun. All he is a moving loot bag that gives you ardor. So for his fun, I'm giving him a 2.5 out of 10. Sound design is the next tier in this boss review. He has 3 attacks, 2 of them sharing the exact same sound. But then Kaido goes in the water, and it doesn't make any sound. Instead, it only does when he comes back up. Plus, the only cool sound for Kaido is his beam. For that, I gotta give Kaido's sound design a 6 out of 10. This is mostly carried by the sound of his breath, but it could be so much better with the right sounds, and honestly, I hope they change it. Kaido's model is actually pretty cool. A giant dragon with a snake-like body. But the thing is, he's just missing something, you know? An extra detail to make him more memorable. Anyways, I'm giving him a 7 out of 10 for his design. But to be real, I don't mind the one we have today. Now look, every criteria I'm breaking down right now is important to making a boss fight good. But one thing that's important to the fun and flair of a boss fight is syncing up the attacks correctly. You see, Deepwoken is both good and bad at doing this. There's mobs like the Carbuncles who actually have a very unorthodox attack sync. Then there's bosses bosses who have accurate animations along with their attack. But there's one question I've always had. Is Kaido's attack sync just like Blood Ren, or is it actually accurate to what it should be? Well, to answer that, it kind of is. His claws sync up, the beam makes sense, and you can't even parry it either way. The only thing that isn't really accurate is his tail whip, but it isn't as bad as the Carbuncles, who I fucking hate. Anyways, Kaido gets a 6 out of 10 for his attack syncing. It's not bad, it actually works. Now listen, the end of the video is coming up pretty soon. Wait, don't fucking click off yet, the video's not done. But look, you made it this far, so go ahead and like and subscribe. Anyways, I'm bringing up a tier that's integral for bosses in Deepwoken, something that carries swag to the overall fight. That thing is animations. Are Kaido's animations any good? Is he a boss that increases the intensity with how his attacks look? Well, to be honest, no. Kaido has some of the worst animations in Deepwoken. Other bosses have attacks that look dangerous. Kaido doesn't. Tell me, when you look at a creature like this, do you think that it only has breath, claw swipes, and a tail whip? Because I'll be real, I didn't. When I first fought Kaido, I thought it was going to be cooler, an epic type of boss fight. So I gotta give him a 4 out of 10 for his animations. Nothing is really good and everything feels janky as hell. Compare him to his peers and he's a very lackluster boss. Kaido has almost 0 attack diversity with his measly 3 attacks. So for Kaido's attack diversity, he gets a 2 out of 10. A boss having more versatile attacks will always make the fight more impactful, but at the same time, it won't always translate to a good fight. In this case, I think it would be better for Kaido to have more shit. Now it's time to talk about something Deepwoken has gotten right and wrong at the same time. That thing is mob AI. You see, AI is kind of a cursed tool, but here's the thing. Every mob has AI. Not like ChatGPT writing a script, but more like follow this player around and swing your weapon at them. So here's the real question. Is Kaido's AI smart enough to understand what's going on? No, it's not. If Kaido's AI was smart, it wouldn't keep swaying side to side like it's dancing. It would actually turn around and start attacking the player more accurately. Kaido, like a lot of Deepwoken bosses, forgets that he's a massive dragon with a beam, and he just decides to swipe at the air as the player is fully behind him. I do kind of get why the AI is like this. If bosses were smarter, they would feel less rewarding to beat and would be more of a chore than a challenge. But still, this is a permadeath game. You'd think smarter bosses would make sense, right? Then again, it doesn't matter when you barely ever wipe. Anyways, I'm giving Kaido's AI a 6 out of 10. Man, with all this talk being said and all this yap going around, we're finally getting somewhere. Coming in second to last is Kaido's loot rating. Now, Kaido isn't a fun fight. He's not engaging, he's not even difficult, but despite all that, he actually has some pretty solid loot. He can drop a dormant splinter, his breath, any deep gem, Petra's anchor, or even a goddamn soul thorn. On top of that, he also drops these items I'm showing on the screen right now. Oh yeah, how could I forget? He guarantees you one of the most important things in the game, Ardor. Either way, Kaido's loot pool gets a clean 8 out of 10. Very good loot from a fight that's pretty easy and mid. Now then, the final rating isn't a rating itself. It's a question. Is Kaido worth fighting? Is the time you spent chasing an Ardor manifestation that you probably forgot that you had even worth the effort of beating Kaido? Honestly, yeah, it is, but only to an extent. Kaido is a flawed boss. He's not fun, he's not engaging, and he definitely isn't a necessity. You don't need to kill Kaido to make a good build, or to even get Ardor at all. But killing him does give you access to quick, easy loot. Now, when you factor in the nonsense like him constantly going in the water, randomly flinging himself and ragdolling you if you get hit, it almost feels not worth it. Almost. But the loot is solid. For you basically just giving him back shots the whole time, forget that last part, I didn't say that. Point is, Kaido has potential, and if he gets reworked, he could actually be great. Yet a giant dragon like Kaido, the Dread Serpent, he has no excuse to be this mid. Final boss rating for Kaido is a 48.5 out of 110. He could be better in the future, and I hope he is. On top of that, my biggest thing is, bro, Kaido has been around for so long, and there's other bosses that have also been around for the same amount of time. I mean, Ferryman, you know, Duke, guys like that are still pretty fun boss fights. A guy like Kaido, he's been in the game for so long, and he's still just dog shit. So it's just his design. It's not him aging out of the game. He's always been this mid, unless I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and get ready for the other Deepwoken content on the way. If you're in my Discord server, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And hey, if you play ABA and you enjoy that game, why not click this video right here? I know this is a Deepwoken vid, but my last Deepwoken upload was about 2 years ago. So give it a shot. Peace out. Are we dead ass? 2 Kaidos? Like, what can I do about this shit? What is this? What is this, bro?